Good morning, everyone. Today we are having this event of Startup Change Leaders, where we decided that we'll have a discussion on are you market ready? Because at the end of the day, for all startups, it is very, very important that the market readiness has to be there for them to actually uh, go to the market, and there are certain areas where they need to make sure that they uh, are prepared so that the people who are investing in those startups, the people who are approaching those startups, they are, they get impressed by them, they get benefited by them, and there has to be certain basic requirements for showing your market readiness. So we'll be discussing, that part today. And it's when you conceive an idea, there are a lot of things going behind the scene, but ultimately you start getting traction, you start getting the response from the investors or the public based on your market readiness. So you need to let us understand what are those ingredients, what is that which is important for the startups for to be market ready and to be seen by the investors as investable startups. So so when helping startup, it is very difficult to judge how far the startup has progressed. So, the pitch decks are always very rosy. They show very glaring numbers. Uh, Also, you can show your 5-year business plan, but you need to have a evidence-based, measurable progression towards a viable startup, and your milestones should be very clear. That is where I think all startup entrepreneurs need to focus on. That you need to be very clear as to where your startup is going or progressing, and you need to also be very clear on your path, that as to how you are going to reach those milestones, and how you are going to make sure that we have um, some minimum viable product to talk about, and that is the key. Actually, your product speaks about your startup. So today, through the case studies and through various examples, we will be discussing as to how a startup should be like, and how we need to, you know, make sure that the startup becomes a viable startup, and the people who are looking at that startup, they see it as an investable startup. So all startups do not follow the same predictable route, but they do need to reach out similar stages. That is what readiness level of all startups is important. So we all need to be very clear on this fact, that how the startups is going to you know give us a fillip. So we always have a very important aspect of the startups becoming successful based on their readiness level, and the investor also looks at this aspect very closely, right? So the investment can be super important for the startups, but it is only one thing that startup work towards. It is investment readiness is one part of the story. With the readiness, we also mean evidence-based entrepreneurship, because you are showing to everyone that you are an entrepreneur. So what is your project, what are you talking about, how that project is important, how you are going to serve the investor, how you are going to serve the society, how your product is going to make a difference. All those ingredients are very important for anyone to look at your startup, to invest in your startup, and how your startup is going to be perceived. So and that is where I think uh, mm, you all need to work on, right? So we have a startup readiness level guide where it is possible to track the progress of the startup to different stages towards success. So so what is how we measure the startup readiness level? So first of all, you must define the idea. No, so they are we have zeroed down on 10 main ingredients for the startup to be shown as a ready startup. So one, the most important thing is you need to define the idea. Now, when you define the idea, means you know why you want to share your journey, what you want to achieve, and with whom. Now, this is very important. That what is your main motive of you know showing your success story, and how you are going to mm, uh, design and what is your vision, what is your key matrix, what do you want at least 10 people that your idea and vision resonate with, people actually understand the what you are talking about, what mm, project you have in mind. So how people perceive your idea. Is it workable, not workable? So the people around you in your ecosystem, you can go to them, you can test it out, you can actually discuss as to how this idea is going to be making a difference in the lives of people. So that is where I think we need to look at. Validation of the idea is very important, because it may so happen that you have think that you have an excellent idea, but maybe that idea is not workable, or that idea may not have enough takers uh, in the market. So you need to be very methodically working on it, and you need to actually make a strategy where you actually try and mm, share your idea with the people around you, and get the feedback on your idea. Understanding of the problem is the main thing, no? Because if you ever have seen the all these startups have they are solving some problem, right? So what is that problem you are solving? What is the uh, you know uh, Ashish, can you mute yourself, please? So yeah, so what is the problem you are solving? What do you really know the people that experience the problem every day? What does it cost them? So that aspect of the problem you need to analyze. How many people have this problem? So you need to look at that. And did you find at least 10 people who experience this problem on regular basis, that care about the problem being solved? Uh, that will give you the answer about mm, how this problem statement which we are talking about is making sense to others or investors, or do people resonate with this problem. And so validation of your problem statement is also a very important aspect, because to give you an example, I recently, I talked too much about this 10-minute delivery people. Now, when they started, I was not very enthusiastic about this idea that who will adopt it, all these Zeptos and uh, other, Swiggy, Instamart, and others of the world. But to my surprise, they are doing very well. And yesterday I was at an event, and the people at the event, just a live example I'm giving you. They were not prepared, maybe, or so they ordered something on the Zepto and they got it. So actually, people are utilizing these fast delivery services to their advantage, and suddenly they have become big hit, and the valuations of all these companies have gone up. So the problem statement and understanding of that problem statement and analysis of that problem statement is very, very important. So we all must understand um, the actual situation of the problem, and whether that is problem is in our mind, or everybody who's dealing with the general public, they are also facing the same problem. And you offer solution, right? So explore potential solutions. So once your solution is such that that is taking care of that problem, you will have ready customers, right? All these pharma delivery websites, they are flourishing because we have a regular requirement of medicines, prescribed prescription medicines. There are so many people who are taking diabetic medicines on daily basis. So they don't have to go to chemist every day, uh, because doctor once prescribes, normally they keep on taking those medicines for a year or 6 months or whatever. So they can easily upload that prescription on all these pharma websites, and the medicine supply keep coming, and that too at a discounted price. So these companies have uh, researched on that what is the problem statement of these people, and what is the potential solution. No, so so you need to explore multiple solution to see what aspect of solution are important for the customer, and what is the key metrics. Did you run at least 3 experiments with at least 10 people, uh, for each testing 3 different possible solutions to see which one of the aspect of it your target audience resonate with the most, and maybe you adopt that solution, and automatically you will get a very good response. So I think this is very, very critical and important, that you should actually work on these solutions. And of course, these solutions and the success of the startup depends on how effectively you are offering these solutions to the public, to the market. And those people who are utilizing that solution become your loyal customers. So that's how you proceed, right? uh, then can you find customer who prefer your solution to their problem over the other solutions? uh, how you find at least 10 people who were prepared to commit and show that they will be willing to utilize that solution, and of course willing to refer that solution to 2 other friends, and that's how you grow your customer base. So your market expansion is very critical, and that is the key to make sure that your project, uh, or whatever startup you are planning, is getting traction, because at the end of the day, uh, if you have customers, only then you can succeed, right? You can't succeed without customers. So your solution should resonate with the people who are going to use that solution. So that is the key for validating your startup. No? Then build a validate tool, because that is a very important aspect, because if you are validating your MVP, that shows how you are going to take things forward, right? So you have to build and validate lo-fi MVP, and you can find early traction where early adopter customers are ready to pay for your solution. The key matrix is that did you manage to reach 100 actual customers to sell your product to do, um, and do they love it? Where were you able to serve them and keep them happy and engaged? So at the end of the day, it is all about keeping your customers happy and engaged, and your customers uh, looking at your product with that kind of respect, and they are willing to utilize your solution, what you are offering, and that actually makes the difference. So you need to actually work on the MVP, and you need to actually work on the solutions, right? Then validate product market fit, because I always talk about a jargon, uh, PDCA, plan, do, check, and act. So planning is important, doing is also important, but checking and acting, again, many people miss. So we need to validate the product for market fit, and so can you scale up your customer base to find customers in sufficient quantity to make your business work? What is the key matrix for it? Would 70% of your customer base really hate not being able to use your products? Uh, that means they love your products, right? So if you are able to validate your market base, if you are able to validate what you are offering, then you can always expand your business. You can always get the traction. You can always get the response from the customers, and you can always increase your reach to the customers, right? Um, Validate your revenue model, because that's very important. uh, can you make money? Do the customer like your revenue model? What is the key matrix? Are you able to increase your profitability while at the same time showing the sustained growth? So that should be very clear, because at the end of the day, why anybody will invest in your startup? They will invest in your startup based on the revenue model. What is your earning potential? What is your earning capacity? How you are going to make sure that that earning model is a win-win situation for you, as well as the people who are investing in your startup. So this is a very, very important aspect. Next is your validation of value delivery. So can you deliver at a scale? Are you able to keep up your growth rate? How you keep your customers happy? How you keep or improve the quality and reduce the cost on the value delivery side? Now, these are all very critical, aspects, because delivery is, we all know, so many startups are now surviving on, delivery. There are many delivery startups. Swiggy, Instamart was one example. Now, recently, Swiggy has introduced one more thing that suppose sitting in Delhi, I want to enjoy biryani which is made in Hyderabad, because Hyderabad biryani is considered to be very authentic. You know, very they have some special skill to make delicious biryani. So what I can do is I can order it today. Tomorrow, next day morning, the flight will carry that biryani from Hyderabad, and it will be delivered in my Delhi address. So that is very much possible now. So people are going in for all these services. People are going in for utilizing these kind of opportunities for them to um, go for, and it is opening up a big plethora of market also for all these players. No, all these manufacturers are uh, going to enjoy, because earlier their market was restricted to only their city, but now that market suddenly goes across India. No, and in any case, enough movement is happening between these two cities, so no problem. It can logistically it is logistically possible to carry those things. So you need to validate your value of delivery. What are the delivery charges? Are they affordable enough for the customer to enjoy it? So they have made it affordable. Earlier it was not affordable, but because of the combined power of logistic, they have made it affordable, right? So that is what all these new models which are emerging in the delivery space, that is what they have achieved. Uh, then what is how you validate growth, because can you acquire more customer in more markets? Does customer life time value exceed cost of customer acquisition? And are you able to reach out to the other market successfully? So I just gave you this example. So the Swiggy interstate, which they have launched, is a good example of how you can actually grow your business, how you can actually expand your horizon, and they are so any person who is looking at your startup, if you are able to validate that year on year you are going to grow at say 10%, 15%, or 20%. So that itself will take care of all the basic ingredients of the project, and you can have that kind of growth. Do the unicorn. No, so early level is a stage that needs to be cleared before going to the next one. Sometimes you can get stuck on a level for a while, but you have to figure it out and clear it. And like a difficult video game, but keep working at it and try new things until you get past that hurdle. And so that is how your startup's readiness level uh, help you figure out where you stand and how you move forward. So this is a very important aspect. You not only have to become successful, you have to actually move forward and make your product sellable, make your startup grow, and these are the very important aspects which you have to keep in mind uh, to judge your readiness level. And suppose you are you have taken care of all these aspects, there is nothing on the earth which can stop you from being successful. So but you have to do your homework, you have to actually put a lot of effort on this. So I take a stop here. Any questions so far from any one of you? Any questions, please? Ajish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, so whenever we have an idea, so should we discuss that idea with some 10 people to validate that one?
Yeah, of course. That makes a lot of sense, isn't it?
Okay. And also should we discuss that the problem, first the idea, then the problem, then the solution also, is it?
Actually, if you know the startup ecosystem, your problem statement has to be a very effective and unique problem statement. And actually there should be a problem. No, it's not that you are thinking that this is a problem and others don't think and that problem statement should be such that there is no solution available presently. No, if there are alternatives available or solutions already available, then that problem statement is not a very good problem statement. No, so you have to be solving a unique problem, right? I give you an example. Urban Clap. Urban Clap became so popular because people were having a problem finding the right kind of service provider, no, plumber or electrician or whatever. They were all very unorganized, no, AC service guys. It's not that they were not there; they were there, right? But not available in a very structured way, with that kind of quality products and that kind of hygiene maintenance. For example, many people opt for this cleaning service being offered by Urban Clap, right? Now, uh, cleaning service was being done earlier also, right? But they realize that the problem statement of the people is that they don't get such guys uh, at a who are equipped and trained to clean and then maintain that whole environment also around that, also very perfect. uh, Similarly, the AC service people like that, no. So uh, so actually, if you discuss with the others that I think this is a problem going on in the market, and you get a response from yes, of course this is a problem, that validates your problem statement, right? And there should be a situation that no solution or hardly any solution is available, or not that effective solution which you are offering, right? So as I mentioned in this Urban Clap example, electricians were available, right? But people had to really work very hard to find them. Um, Taxis were available earlier, but Ola, Uber made my our life much structured, right? Uh, Now we have taxi available at our command. Uh, if earlier I remember more than 10 years back, if I had to go to airport, I have to plan. I have to either ask my driver to come early, or I have to tell the neighborhood taxi guy and book a taxi so that they come early morning to drop me at the airport, right? Now all that problem is gone. I can easily comfortably, even at 4 o'clock in the morning, I can find a taxi standing nearby my flat. So within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they arrive. So this confidence uh, is because such environment has been created, and these are so many number of people. So there was a problem and they solved this problem, right? And they solved this problem by uh, having plenty of drivers all over the place, so that at any given point of time availability is there. So that is very important, because sometimes we may be thinking this is a problem, but actually that may not be a situation on the ground. So that is why I mentioned that. And idea also, you know, if you have to keep the IP of, or you have to protect the your idea is so unique, so you need to protect the the intellectual property in that idea. Then you have to be very selective to whom to talk to. It should not happen that you start talking to the techie people, and they may steal your idea. No, so that's a caution I want to share here. But yes, you must validate your idea with the people around you who can actually vouch for it, because it's always important to get the validation on the ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Rajiv.
Yeah.
And could you please, like the first slide, could you please summarize the important points in the market research? First slide.
This one?
Before this, yeah.
Yeah. So, when you start, you can always make a rosy pitch deck and shiny pitch deck, but that pitch deck should have the you know whatever presentation you are making, it should be fully validated, right? So if you are saying that market size is say these many million users are there, so you need to have some basis for that, right? So are you taking some government data, are you taking some research company data, or what is your basis, right? And if you are saying that out of these 1 million users, I'll be having 500,000 users working or sharing my, they'll become my customers, then on what basis you are having this, what effort you will be doing, what kind of marketing expense you will be doing, how you will gain those customers, and how you are capable enough to run that show. So all this you have to actually showcase your capabilities, your business plan, and your viability of your startup, so that everybody can believe you, because at the end of the day they are putting money on you and on your idea, right? Not on the pitch deck, because pitch deck is anybody, even you hire a professional for 2,000 rupees, they will make a very beautiful pitch deck for you. But at the end of the day, how well you resonate with that idea, how you actually mean that, how you actually deliver that idea on the ground, that is very important. So your backup should be there. If they ask you any question on that pitch deck, what are your projections, how you have calculated, so you must have your assumptions ready, you must have your backup numbers ready, and that is why whenever I make the uh, any 5-year projections or something, first thing I work on is the assumption, because it's not that simply I write, oh, I'll be having 10 crores of turnover or something. Based on what? How many customers multiplied by what is the ticket size? Okay, then I should be having a full backup of that 10 crore which I am talking about. So that you need to justify your numbers, you need to justify your revenue numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. And also, like before this idea, solution, problem definition, we saw the first slide about the market research, and
Yeah.
that should be 5 years. Before we start anything, we should have a 5-year plan, is it?
Absolutely. So normally in the pitch deck, they ask for a 5-year kind of a projection as to when, how your, this, because at that time you don't have actual results to talk about, right? You are a startup. You are just giving them assumptions that, okay, my startup will gain these many customers in the first year, these many second, third, fourth, fifth, right? So that will give a traction to the investor. Uh, they can easily understand that, okay, how this company is going to grow, how much growth potential is there, and how we can make money through the valuation. See, investors are looking for before they enter, they are looking for exit, right? So they are actually looking at the valuation of your company. So if you are able to justify to them that my valuation, which is say 1 million USD today, will be 50 million USD at the end of the 5 years, they'll be very happy, because they can then foresee that, okay, whatever 1 million I invest today, I'll get a 50x return in 5 years time. And normally they are having a higher horizon. They are not looking for instant results, but then you have to justify your growth story. You have to justify your valuation to them, and based on that, they put their money in you, right, on your startup. So that is very critical part of it.
Yeah, thank you. And
Okay.
for this minimum viable product, do we need to spend the minimum cost on it, or?
No, I mean, minimum viable product is the name, right? You need to have a minimum product to show that this is possible, or this is my product, right? But means the meaning of minimum viable product is that you can display what is the impact of the raw product, which the customer may not be requiring, but what is the most viable alternative of that product, and you need to actually work on that product. I give you an example. I was associated with I am actually associated with a EV company. So that company is into uh, creating a mobility vehicle, which can be utilized by all these delivery companies. So what they are trying to do is they are creating a battery swamp system where you can change the batteries, and that delivery vehicle can run a few thousand kilometers, changing batteries, right? So few hundred kilometers, not thousand. So basically the concept is that so before talking about the product, or just saying that I'll be creating this product, that may not satisfy the investor, right? So we created the actually a model of the product. We tested that product. We made those invested on those batteries, invested on the basic structure of the vehicle, and showed to the investors that, look, this is the product we have. No, so so you are not talking in air. You are actually having that product on ground, right? So similarly, suppose you are talking about making an app. No, so minimum viable product is your that structure of that app. So means with minimum investment, you have that product ready, which people can see, visualize, feel. No, and then of course, as you get invested, as you get money from the investors or support from investors, that product can improvise, and that product can become better and better. No? So the features and the minimum what all we are trying to offer through that product should be shared with everyone. That is what MVP is all about. So it's a development technique where new products or website is developed with sufficient features to satisfy early adopters. So you have to show that this is working, and the final or complete set of features can be done after the based on the feedback of initial users. There was a consultant called Eric Ries, on startups. So he popularized this concept of minimum viable product. So that is, we are giving enough value so that people are willing to use or buy it initially. It demonstrates enough future benefits to retain early adopters, and also provide loop to guide on the future development of the products. So that's what the MVP is all about. Now, the primary benefits of MVP is that you can gain understanding about your customer's interest in your product without fully developing the product. So you have kind of created a framework, and based on that framework, your customer can judge how this product will look like, how this product will be, and they can even feel it, and you can actually make them have a sense of your product, and you can find out whether your products will appeal to customer, or it will be so you need to not splurge money, because you are testing phase, you are in the testing phase, right? So that is why it is called minimum viable product, so that the customer can at least see your product without spending too much money on it, and it builds a solid foundation. So it create an early buzz for you. It also help understand and analyze the potential customer better. You can get the user feedback on this, allowing more time to plan for effective product, getting the attention of investors, because investor also can see what kind of product you are talking about, and they can actually gauge that product, and accordingly they can feel that product. Coping up with the competition, how you are going to cope up with the competition, and find loyal users. So that is again a very critical part. So your priorities, if you have if you see this chart, you can low priority to high priority, you can go, and the features, of course, you can keep on adding as you add users, and that is how you make your product more acceptable. So what are the common pitfalls? Team use the term MVP but don't fully understand the use or meaning of it. So that's what we have seen, and this lack of understanding in believing that MVP is the smallest amount of functionality they can deliver without additional criteria being sufficient to learn about business viability of the product. But no, you need to have basic features, all basic features there in the MVP, because it should not happen that the persons who are investing in your startups, they are not able to appreciate what you are trying to build or what you are trying to offer. So we need to look at this aspect. Teams may also confuse on MVP whether it focus on learning, or minimum marketable features are there, or minimum marketable product is there. So there's a terminology called MMF or MMP, which has a focus on earnings, and there is not harm in this unless the team become too focused in delivering something which without considering whether it is the right and it must satisfy the customer needs, because that's the most important thing. So we need to work on this aspect. And team also stress on the minimum part of MVP to the exclusion of the viable part. And if the product delivered is of not a sufficient quality, yeah, it cannot provide accurate assessment of the MVP, because so you need to have something tangible to look at. And of course, uh, further changes or to the products and feedback based on the feedback should always be considered. It's not that you have made the MVP or so you are not willing to look at it, right? So I think this is what we wanted to talk. So let's come straight to the case studies. We all know Dropbox, right? Now, Dropbox was, the story is that, this is this will actually make us understand the minimum viable product in a much more effective way. The story is the Drew Hudson was the company co-founder, and he was always carrying his thumb drive, you know, to shift his files, rather than sending them through emails or whatever. So one day he forgot his flash drive, and so he then thought that there can be a way to store the data in a Dropbox kind of a thing, where you can assess uh, mm, from different computers or platforms. So so that is how this um, Dropbox germinated. So it was a problem he faced, that he had no tool to assess the data online from a different computer, right? So he you know I reached out to another co-founder, and then Sequoia Capital also invested in him, and they came out with this Dropbox concept. We all know what Dropbox is, and they invited some friends, gave them links, and launched this product, and it went viral. No, so. Uh, Early adopter who work on project requires packing a lot of files and shifting networks and collaborators. So its problem scenario was it was difficult to share files between fluid networks and collaborators. So um, the alternatives were many existing products, but none of them were super compelling and widely adopted. Also, they require custom setup, which work, but the cumbersome setups were to be maintained. So they created a value proposition, that is a file sharing device, which was working all across major platforms. And key assumptions were that there are so many people who may be requiring this kind of file sharing service. So they created a demo, uh, and created an environment where they worked on Dropbox and then promoted it. Uh, all substantial traffic came, and a lot of people signed up for this product, and they had a strong preliminary validation. So they went ahead, and rest is history. This company has been very successful. There's another case study. This is again an international case study of Leonid Systems. Now, Leonid Systems was conceived in 2007 to explore new ideas on back office of IT. Now, this back office of IT was being used by large communication providers, or phone companies, or cable companies, or wireless companies. Now, they started small. They were bootstrapped, but they actually built on this idea. Of course, they worked towards the cloud communication, and but there were a lot of risk involved because most of the networks are expensive, and of course the large data loss can happen. So they worked on a modular integration where they created an end user self-service portal, and this they found takers into this, so they offered this product to the customer, and the everybody latched onto it, and the company was able to sell. Now, what are the lessons? A good product is much better than the bad products. So getting first customer should be a natural process for a good startup. After all, you have developed a product to solve a specific problem, right? And you know that the problem exists. And if you know that the problem exists, you should know that the people who have it, they will be reaching wider audience. And small startup companies don't have enough resources to deal with it. So the second lesson we learned from today's discussion is look for startup ideas around literally, because both Dropbox and Leonard Systems, they came from personal experience of founders. So they found a problem, they solved a problem because they were techies, and they got a lot of good results from it. And they went on to latch on to this aspect. So solving problem that your family and friends have may provide a bunch of advantages. It's easy to sell, and it is easy to test also with the customers. So your MVP is uh, you know tested without much effort because you have an ecosystem around you. So that is what I wanted to discuss today. Any more questions you have, please feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer. Anybody with any more questions?
Yeah, the first point, that a good product without any marketing, is it a bad product? The first one.
Yeah, because if you have a good product but you are just keeping it with yourself and you are not actually testing it out, you are not approaching anyone, it is just lying in your lab or it's lying in your head, it has no meaning, right? You have to move out, you have to actually talk to people, you have to understand their usage of that product, and their feedback on that product. And then of course you can make it more and more refined and better for them to use, and for everybody to use around you. Yeah,
So that means marketing is more important.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are many techie friends of mine who have excellent ideas, but they have tested also, but that is they have tested in their own research lab, and that product is lying in their PC. No meaning, right? Unless the world out there knows that this product exists. No. Yeah. Any other questions?
And the lesson 2 is like we should get if we get an idea which we personally feel, that will be more successful.
Absolutely. You will have more motivation, you will have more commitment, you will have more uh, enthusiasm, because you can relate to that and you can actually make that more successful, because you actually are connected with that idea. No? So the connection of the entrepreneur with that idea is also very, very critical and important. No?
Thank you.
So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Do spread our community to your friends and others also. And those of you who are still not part of the community, please feel free to connect with me. I will be very happy to add you into the WhatsApp group also, so that you get regular updates. Normally, this is my WhatsApp number, and please share your numbers also, so that we can add you to our WhatsApp group and make it bigger and bigger, so that whatever knowledge sharing we are doing on regular basis, every Sunday we are meeting 11:30 a.m. So let's continue with that, and be participative. So thank you for always being supportive of our efforts, and we will continue to do that. Now we are on Facebook also. We do this Facebook Live always whenever we are meeting. So do spread to others also about our community. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Nishant. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a great day.
You too.